So Tomi Lahren is taking a lot of heat from conservatives over something that she recently said in a final thoughts segment over the weekend. Now, she argued that any attempt to overturn Roe v. Wade, which a lot of people have been concerned about, considering that Anthony Kennedy is stepping down from the SCOTUS bench. And of course, Kennedy, while he made a lot of terrible conservative pro-corporate decisions, was at least not interested in revisiting Roe v. Wade, and would have voted in favor of pro-choice. So, again, a lot of people concerned about this, and so now we have a debate on who, if any, of Trump's possible Supreme Court choices would revisit Roe v. Wade and possibly lead to the end of legal, safe abortion. Not the end of abortion, but the end of legal and safe abortion. Now, Tomi, of course, actually comes out on the side of, let's not get rid of Roe v. Wade. In fact, she said that it would be unlikely to succeed and would further divide the nation. Now, she talked about a recent Quinnipiac poll that found most Americans support the right of people to get a safe, legal abortion, even if they don't necessarily agree or are personally pro-life in their lives. She said, "We lose when we start tampering with social issues. Do we really want to fight for this? Alienate Democrats, moderates, and libertarians, all to lose in the end anyway? That's a risk I don't think is worth taking." Now that is, again, very interesting. Now, Lahren says she's a person who would personally choose life, but that she believes that it's not the government's place to dictate. Quote, "Those are my thoughts. Feel free to disagree." And actually, look, to be honest, I actually do agree. Weirdly enough. But I think on this issue, one of so many issues that she's wrong on, she's actually right on this one. And so, look, here's the thing. I wouldn't give her too much credit, though, because what she's talking about, while, yes, she is personally pro-life and, pro-choice, she got in trouble. She got fired from the Blaze due to that position, and yet she continues to hold that position. What this is about politics, okay? So, look, the conservatives, they count on these votes. Republican politicians count on the culture war in order to get votes. And these people who are so-called pro-life, well, they show up to the polls. They show up to the polls and they vote for politicians based on pretty much that. They're the classic single-issue voter, right? And so what happens if they revisit Roe v. Wade? Well, then all those voters, they win. And then they stay home. Republican politicians, they don't want that. They want something that they can point to and say, look, here's why you got to get out and vote, so we can protect the babies. When they actually have no interest in protecting the babies, especially after they're born. So, no, they're not going to revisit this. And Tommy's just trying to remind people, hey, this is stupid politics. Don't revisit Roe v. Wade. Don't let it happen, because then we're going to keep losing elections. And that's important because, look, the most important thing to Republicans is elections. So here's what they do, right? The politicians are, look, they run on this, and then when they get into office, they go after their true agenda. What is their true agenda? Tax cuts for the rich and deregulation for corporations. Why? Because they pay their donors, but they go through and they fight this culture war because it works. Because it works. And look, to be fair, Tomi, I believe her when she says she's pro-choice. Again, she got in trouble for this. So that's actually probably one of her only positions that she actually is true about. And she says nobody should want the government deciding whether you should give birth or not. That's not their job. That's not the government's job. The government's job is supposed to be to work for us, human beings who are already here and not a clump of cells. But without this social, war, this culture war, Republicans are going to have a hard time selling their ideas because all they have, tax cuts, deregulation. And so they're not going to drop this. They're not going to decide to revisit Roe v. Wade. That's not going to happen. What they're going to do is they're going to keep chipping away at it in states so that the people that they want to vote for them will continue to vote for them in these states until, of course, an energized progressive left shows up in these states and starts voting them out and starts rolling back those attacks on reproductive rights. Because, again, most Americans believe that people should have reproductive rights and that the government doesn't belong into this. And so I think that's the way it's going to stay. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.